Hi everyone, I hope everyone is having a great day. Today we are going to be doing a new series where I talk through things that I want to purchase, but since I'm on my no buy year, I can't, and what I'm going to be using instead. I also asked what you are currently tempted to buy, and I'm going to do my best to talk you out of that. So I made a folder, and forgive me, I'm not technologically savvy at all, so I'm just going to put the photo up, but Lord knows how or if it will work. I've just been saving things as they come and we'll go through it that way. The first two things are actually not things at all, but rather makeup looks. So this, okay, no, I'm not gonna show you. So the first one that's on the screen right now is Lily Rose Depp, and I just am obsessed with the icy blue. It's freezing outside, so every time I come in I get like overheated. With like the pouty brown liner nude lips, but that blue, I just don't feel like it would look good on me. But I did some digging and I do actually even have a blue that color. I feel like it looks super similar. It's from this ColourPop duo. There we go. And I feel like that all over the lid would give a super similar effect. So this isn't not a look I'm probably going to do anytime soon, but if I wanted to do it. The second look kind of goes hand in hand with a few other palettes. So I'm going to put the look on the screen right now. This is from a Vive Beauty campaign, but I just love like the 90s looks, and I like how it has a cool tone, kind of mauve-y eye look, but the lips aren't that pale concealer lip that we often see with the 90s look. I just thought it was beautiful. And then I guess it's like coming back around, the 90s sculpted cool tone eye. So I saw Natasha Denona released her mini eye sculpt cool, and this is something that I really feel like I would have bought if I were not on the no buy, and I'm glad I haven't bought it. I'll put a picture up too of the eye looks that they included, but I'm glad I didn't buy it because I think there's just not enough difference between the colors. If you're thinking about buying it, maybe consider the 3 center shades, how different they would really look on you, because I know for me they would all look pretty dark. And then I also thought the I know this is a little bit older, it's from November, but the Anastasia Beverly Hills Haze palette had a similar vibe, even maybe more up my alley with like those pewter taupe colors in the middle. So I did some digging. Not to mention Natasha Denona has my favorite formula, so I have a lot of her palettes. As we know from my Project Pan, the Glam palette has some of these colors. So let me show you what I was thinking. And yes, I've been using it. These tones are what I was aiming to accomplish, especially, oh my gosh, this color is probably my favorite in the palette. But these 3 kind of look like they could be in the Natasha Denona Mini Sculpt palette without having to purchase a new one. And then I also have the Biba, which has this whole bottom row full of cool tones, although I guess this is a cool brown, but it's not really aligned with these. But these bottom 4 really are similar to the vibes that I was picking up on. And so I'm gonna dip into these. I think I'm probably gonna do some sort of cool 90s look with these. For New Year's, I did do a pretty 90s look. And I used this palette, but maybe I should have even taken it a step further and gone into these grays. I'll do that in an upcoming video. Next thing that, again, I'm positive I would have bought this, is the Ole Henriksen lip balm in Sweet Macaroon, because I collect these. I have so many of them that this isn't even all of my collection, but I love them. They're my favorite lip balms. They're so they're so hydrating. I was gonna purchase it without smelling it, without, I mean, trying the color on. It does look so pretty. It's like that mauve-y, purpley tint, but these are very sheer. So I already have, if I want like that sweet scent, I already have the vanilla. I have the creme brulee here. I have the Cocoa Creme. I have the Sweet covered. I have the pinkies. They're so beautiful. This is a unique color, and if I'm being honest, I do think it's something that if I still want it in the new year, I might buy it. But these take so long to go through is what I've heard. I have not even gotten close to going through one. The texture is just so nice. This is not a really good talking out of, but point being, I don't need a new one. It's not limited edition. It's not going anywhere. There's going to be plenty of opportunity in the future if I still want it to purchase it, and right now is about proving that I don't need to. So I'm going to go through the ones I have, really enjoy them, remember what it is I like about it, which is the formula, and then if I want a color similar, I have tons of lip glosses that shade. I'm gonna do a trying on all of my lip glosses, like ranking my lip glosses, talking through the formulas I already own going into the new No Buy year, and I'm sure when I do that I'll find a color that's almost identical to that. The next thing, which surprised me but I thought was so cute, were the Milani baked highlighters, baked blushes, baked bronzers. They came out with new colors and new packaging, and I would have been tempted by them. I'm not sure if I would have bought them even before, but I thought they were pretty and some people might be tempted. And then I remembered I have my prized possession, which is the Hourglass, I don't know, I call it my leopard palette, yeah. And it's what I wear, I mean, it's my most worn probably, and you can barely tell. It has 3 blushes, it has the highlighter, the press, I don't even know, the bronzer, whatever this is. And I felt like, you know, I probably don't need more pressed items, more baked cheek products. I also put these eyeshadows up, the Writing Solo Volume 2, which is so funny because I was legitimately looking at purchasing the full volume set before my No Buy year started. And I already have 5 of them in my drawer, and you know how many of them are used? 2. And I got like this bright pink. I'm not really sure what was going through my mind when I purchased it, but hey ho. I've used this one, but I think they're just like very luxe for the price point, and they stack together. So I think I was more drawn into the collection aspect of it all. If you did want an affordable eyeshadow, I would recommend these. And I also want to clarify that about my channel. I'm not telling everyone to stop buying everything. I just feel like people like me who had no control over their shopping might benefit from a pause, and then people who are better than me but still feel the urge to shop often can benefit from being a little bit more discerning about their purchases and really thinking through if it's adding something new or if you're just buying it to buy something. So with that being said, if you do want a certain color eyeshadow that you think you're gonna wear, not just one off, or maybe there's like a very big event like you're a bridesmaid and you all were supposed to have a certain color, right? This is a good formula. They're pretty affordable and they have like this very nice, it's kind of like in between a ColourPop and a regular pressed shadow. I would recommend them. They do have beautiful colors, but you certainly don't need the whole vault, and if you already have 5, you probably don't need more. By Mario jelly cheek lip things, those just looked like a fun texture, but I already have my favorite cheek formula, which is from Phytosurgeons, and I have so many colors of these, and these have way more unique and up my alley, oh my gosh, colors. Anyway, so this is Fume. I just brought 3 out to show you, but Singe. And the texture of these is even more satisfying in the long term. This is Condensate, because they're just so malleable on the skin, whereas the jelly things, I feel like they can get patchy. I mean, I haven't tried these ones, so I wouldn't know. But in general, I feel like that's more of a gimmicky buy, and this is more of a texture that's actually gratifying to use. This one is another thing I feel like I truly would have purchased. It's the Mob Beauty collab with Nico Lavender. I feel like these colors are so unique and stunning, and the lip gloss just looks like that perfect cool tone hint without being too much. The lip gloss, I honestly don't have anything that's a similar color, but the blush, I even have this lavender blush and I totally forgot about it. And that is like such a similar color. Of course the formula is different, but I love this formula. It's like a soft wash, and for a color that vibrant, this is great. So I'm gonna try this out this week probably, and we'll report back. Last two makeup items. One is the Say Beauty setting spray. I just was reading the reviews because my roommate wanted to buy this, and it had, I always do non-incentivized, so given that I was only working with a few reviews, but they all said that it felt very hydrating. I don't typically use setting spray. What I do have left in my collection is this little one, so obviously I'll finish this first. But if you don't use setting spray, you don't need to add an extra step to your collection. What I actually want is glowy hydrated skin. Has very little to do with the product. This just promises that, so I can do with what I have. The last product is this Victoria Beckham eyeliner in Cocoa Pave. I think that's how you say it. Oh, it is so beautiful. It's almost like this shadow, but a little deeper. But the crazy thing is I already have 3 Victoria Beckham eyeliners and I barely wear eyeliner. And I already have fun colors. I don't know what the actual colors are called, but I have the olivey tone. I have a brown that's not really fun. But I also have this gorgeous like burgundy. And I barely do eyeliner. And then in terms of that metallic sparkle, I have this Danessa Myricks double-ended wand that has such gorgeous metallic sparkle to it. Ooh, we'll go bigger. That I feel like with a little bit of creative layering, I don't think it's really picking up there. With a little bit of creative layering, we could easily get this eye look accomplished. And sometimes that's the most fun part of playing with makeup, is layering and messing around with textures. So I am inspired to do that. A few other things caught my eye, including this top. I love Madewell. It's one of my favorite brands. And this top is like, okay, I'll put it up here. This top has the neckline that I really like. And I love having my armpits out, because I feel like that way I don't have to really worry about sweat stains as much. The pattern was also cute. I just thought it looked like a little bit more fun with a jean than a plain shirt. I realized I really recently purchased this. Still has the tag, and it's a very similar like cropped, has the added fun of being not just a plain shirt. Definitely not a high neckline in the same way, but it's totally something that's new and fun and that I can play around with in the same vein. And then I also thought these pants were so cute, and it's because I already have them. I have them in a dark navy, and I truly would have purchased them in a brand new color when I already have a pair that I love. And as I spoke about in this video that I'll link here, I forget what it's called, but as I spoke about, if I already have my favorite color, there's no need to buy a second color. Crafts, oh my gosh, I found these woobles as I'm getting into crocheting, and the moose and the elephant were so cute. I almost bought them. I didn't, obviously. But the crazy thing is, I was given these for Christmas. I have a brand new little penguin that is so adorable to do, and then I also was just given this little stegosaurus. This is what I have accomplished so far. Something went a little awry, but it is what it is. This one was really shocking to me because my mind is so accustomed to buying new things that before I had even opened the second one, I was already almost clicking purchase on numbers 3 and 4. So giving myself a second to pause has been very beneficial. And then the last thing that really I almost purchased was I went to my favorite bookstore, dangerous, and I've been getting a little bit more into the classics because my roommate has tons of them. And I just read Madame Bovary, and now I'm reading A Picture of Dorian Gray. Is it a picture or portrait? A Picture of Dorian Gray, I think. And I saw in the 50% off, they had tons of beautifully covered classic books. They had Wuthering Heights, Pride and Prejudice, Jane Eyre, tons of books that I would love to have in my own collection. But I have the rule that I'm only buying 4 books this year, and it's a little early to be purchasing one, and I also have a roommate who has all these books. So there will be a time in my life when I want my own library, when I have my own house, but until then, these are books that I A, already have probably from my roommate, and B, the old classics are so often at the library and not checked out. That's a great place to go if you want to read it, and buying a book because the cover is pretty is not a valid reason. Now to get into the things that you guys have been wanting to purchase, and I will talk, hopefully, you out of it. Someone said that they have been tempted to buy nail supplies to do press-on nails after seeing a lot of New Year's hauls all over YouTube, and they said that they've been telling themselves they have what they need, but that they've already caved and bought some things that they didn't actually need. For nail supplies, I feel like it can be tempting to have the most because there's so many people who do eccentric designs and beautiful patterns, but you really just have to think about what you actually do. And if it's something you want to try one off, you really don't need to be buying the whole set for things. I would give yourself enough creativity, enough flexibility to have some creativity. Like maybe if you only wear nudes and pinks, you can get like 1 or 2 other colors, but you don't need to be buying all of the nail supplies to do press-on nails. To do press-on nails, you really only need the nails and gel polish, and you can get, like I said, a set of gel polish for super cheap. People were saying not to buy cheap nail polish. I don't know. I bought it and I'm fine, so do with that as you will. But also, if you're having a hard time, why don't you use what you have, use each color and see how long that takes you. And if you still want a specific color after you've used every single one you already own, then maybe it's something you can reconsider. Shannon, who always comments on my videos and it means the world to me, said that she's been having a hard time talking herself out of some clothing. One of her favorite clothing brands dropped new pieces and she talked herself out of it. And that's so amazing. Congrats on talking yourself out of it. I think that that's so relatable to a lot of people where you become really attached to a brand. I know I have become that way. Like with Madewell, I browse their site, and if you know you're that attached to a brand, it's probably not realistic for you to just never look at the site again. But having a wish list just for that site can be totally something you could do. What it is about the item that makes you excited, or if it's just because it's from that brand. Like if ColourPop released whatever it is Merit did, would I be excited? Or is it because I have Merit in my mind? It's like this minimalistic, it's what classy people use. Is the item, is the clothing something that is fancy and sparking interest because it's from that brand, or because it's that piece of clothing? If the answer is it's because it's the piece of clothing, then we go to your closet, we think about what's similar. If you don't have anything directly similar, which it sounds like you have quite a few options, but if there's not something directly similar, think about what wearing it would make you feel like. If it's something that would make you feel like very put together and classy, maybe put on an outfit that you know makes you feel very badass. If it's something that's a little sexier, like a slip skirt, something like that, put on an outfit that makes you feel sexy, that emanates the emotions you're trying to get from the item. 2 people mentioned having trouble not buying food or coffee while out. that I don't think is always a problem. I think it just has to be for an occasion. Like if you're going out and about and you just forgot to bring something, you can probably wait until you're home. But if it's someone's birthday, or if you're taking yourself out on a date, that's, I think, totally fine to do within reason. It just can't be normalized that it's going to happen every day. Coffee especially, like you can make that at home for so cheap. Buying food or a coffee, if you're going to buy it out, should be an occasion. It doesn't have to be with someone, it can be taking yourself out, but if you're gonna do it, just sit there with it, enjoy it, think about how it tastes, make it a whole experience, and then you'll probably think about it next time, like, oh, am I really gonna sit there for 45 minutes just with my coffee and make it a whole time, or am I just gonna go to the store, pick up the coffee and go? If it's the second one, you don't need it. That's not an experience that you need to purchase in on. Buying too many gifts for other people, that can also be hard. What my family has done recently is, around the holidays, we have decided that with everyone having +1s now, it's just too much. So we do Secret Santa. So I only have to purchase presents for 2 people. I do a stocking and I do a gift. And maybe going forward with something similar to that could be helpful. And then there's a budget attached to it. Bath bombs from Lush was another one. This is kind of a similar thing to a lot of what I'll say is, I don't think there's a problem in buying a bath bomb, but using a bath bomb every time you take a bath is just not cost effective or a viable option. So if you're going to be doing that, it should be when, okay, if I get through this exam season, I'm gonna have a beautiful bath, I'm gonna set the tone, I'm gonna put music on. Or maybe if you have, a Friday where you're staying at home, something like that. Using them as a way to immerse yourself into a luxurious experience rather than having it be an everyday thing with your bath. And then part 2, if you already have bath bombs, use what you have first. And then as a former bath bomb addict from Lush, I know that they're expensive. They're like $6 to $10 for one bath bomb. If you are using it for the appearance, I don't really have anything for you, but if you're using it for the soft texture that it leaves your skin with, or the scent, maybe invest in like an essential oil or something that's more cost effective. And the last thing someone left was discounted advent calendars. And this one's hard because the discount makes you think that it's such a great deal, but this person even said that they would buy some of the products, that they would actually consider buying some of the products, but once they ran out of their existing ones. So I think that's the most important thing to focus on, is you already have existing items. You don't need to purchase a backup. When the time comes, I'm sure that there will be something that will pique your interest even more than a discounted advent calendar, because you weren't excited about it at its full price. And typically in an advent calendar, right, there's 25 days. The odds that you like enough of those products to have justified the cost are so low. It's better to just wait, use up what you have, and then purchase 1 or 2 things that you would like even better. So hopefully that helped those of you who left comments. I really appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to make this a series on my channel because I know there's so many things I've been wanting to buy, and hopefully if there's something that you can't get your mind off of, you can leave it in the comments of this video, or I'll make a post ahead of whenever I next am going to make one of these videos, and I'll chat about it there. I hope everyone is having a great first week of the new year, and I love you.